Whether on the Israeli side or the Palestinian side, living under the constant threat of rocket fire and shelling makes for a difficult life. One man who knows this all too well is Dr. Izzeldin Abu Alaish. He was born in a Gaza refugee camp and experienced a terrible turn of events in 2009. Doctor, take us back to 2009. What happened?
2009, it reminds me of these days what is going on, because someone is still insisting to add salt to the wound. The wound is still open. On that day, when an Israeli tank to bomb my daughter's room, killing 3 daughters and 1 niece, for nothing they did. They were girls, armed with love, with education, with the plans, with life, with energy. And now they are numbers and they are gone, and I see it on daily basis, continuing the same mean of the killing of innocent civilians. I see my daughters and the children who are killed. The images where the hearts of rocks can melt when they see these images. When I saw my daughters who were drowning in their blood, as if we are in shortage of a bloodshed, of animosity, of anger, my daughters, they became parts. And I see it in the Palestinian children in Gaza these days, again and again. And when we say enough is enough, it's time to tackle the problem. It's a Palestinian nation who are looking for their freedom, and they want to be free as others, and also the Israelis to be free from their fears. It's not with the military means or with violence. There are other alternatives, and we tried in 2009, 2012, and now 2014. Who is going to endure these wars and the suffering of the human beings? Who is going to be accountable to it? It's time to take action, and I urge all of the world to take action. I want the leaders of this world, of these images, trouble them or not, if they can have the courage to look in the eyes of their children, and what can they say to their children?
Doctor, I want to point out that you're a medical doctor by training. You've delivered babies in Israel and in Gaza. Now you're in Toronto. I want you to talk about your foundation, though, Daughters for Life. You've turned your tragedy around.
Because when I saw my daughters killed, and as the people, they think of every bad thing. There is bad things in this world, but it's in our hand. Life is what we make it. Always has been, always will be. I am not accepting my daughters to be killed, and they are alive and will be kept alive through wisdom, through good deeds and courageous right words. That's why Daughters for Life was established in memory of my daughters, for education of girls and women from the Middle East, to keep my daughters alive, and also to prove to the world that there is hope in this world, and that there is something good of the bad, and that's what is needed. The world is not in shortage of hatred or animosity. Our people there, they are suffering, and we need to put an end to this suffering. And it's not with hatred, with anger, it's with determination, and also to speak louder with wisdom and good deeds.
What do you think the prospects of peace are, though? You've heard probably of this 12-hour ceasefire that will take place on Saturday. Are you optimistic? And what would you tell the leaders out there trying to broker something more? What would you tell them?
I tell the leaders, we need to tackle the right problem. It's, the Palestinian nation against the Israeli nation, and Palestinians are occupied and the Israelis are occupied, and we need all of them to be free. The Israelis to be free and the Palestinians, and to put an end to the occupation, and the occupation to become a history. At that moment, when we all are free, we can move forward beyond that. We should not just wait for a ceasefire, for a truce for 12 hours. People there are suffering and paying the price. I see the mothers, the Palestinian mother, and also the mother of the Israeli soldier who is killed, and she loves her son. She wants her son to come back. And also these Palestinian children who are now more than 800 children, mothers, women, people who have hopes and dreams, and they want to run a normal life. There is no cause to justify the killing of any human being, and the blood and the life of all of us is equal and similar to each other. That's what is needed, the leaders to fight for that. If they need the courage, not the courage to bomb and to kill, the courage is to admit and to recognize the rights of all.
All right, Dr. Izzeldin Abu Alaish, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for sharing your story from